We are finally tackling that big pile of memorabilia that has been hiding in my closet. Hi, I'm Beth Saunders, and if you were with me last time, we pulled out a box of memorabilia that covered 16 plus years of my first career. Wow. And then found another box in the closet. So since that last video, I sorted through that box into my smaller boxes here. And obviously not all of this is going to go into an album. A lot of these papers are like travel plans and things that will give me some dates. And part of it went into a file cabinet because it was just some records that I need to keep. And part of it got sorted. We sorted it into sort of eras or roughly decades. And the pictures that I found all over the house got sorted into power sort boxes by roughly by year. And one thing I really want to mention is you don't have to have the dates for all these things. I was surprised at how many dates I found on things. So being me, just kind of that engineer technical personality or a square as you go in personality types, I will probably try to do some of these chronologically, but you don't have to. The point of all this is to just get it in something that you can enjoy instead of being this pile of clutter that just weighs on you and lurks in the house somewhere. So tell me in the comments if you have a big pile of memorabilia or tub of photos hiding somewhere in your house that you've been avoiding it, or you just don't see it anymore. Tell me, what do you have? Is it years of your kids' school pictures? Is it maybe some family pictures, or like me, years of your youth that maybe you want to catch up on a little bit? Let me know. I would really like to be able to share, and we can help each other tackle this.
Now, I'm pretty proud of myself. I know this is just a first run through and things are not in an album yet, but I filled up a trash can plus a big pile of recyclables. And doesn't it just feel good to get the things that don't matter out of your house? It really does. And I also want to let you know that I'm not retired. I don't have all day, every day to play with my pictures and things, despite what it may appear when you watch my videos. I am a creative memories advisor, which means I have more flexible days, but I have a pretty long to-do list and another part-time job. So what got me going? What motivated me to do this now? Well, Creative Memories came out with these simple album kits. And I'm going to show you this in a minute. This is the Global Getaway. And it has greens and blues and travel things. This is not part of the kit, but this is part of the collection. There is a punch that has airplanes and clouds. And I worked with airplanes for the Navy. So the green and the blue goes with military. And the biggest thing is it's so easy, which I'm going to show you. And I thought, what if I could use this easy album, when I get it, well, the base pages are already decorated. So it's a little bit like a Fab, but not. It's just a simple kit. What if I could use this sort of pre-decorated pages like a smash book and just get my stuff into an album? Now, what's the difference between a smash book, a junk journal, and a scrapbook? If you look on YouTube, you're going to find a lot of opinions and a lot of examples. I went to Google and, just looked around a little bit online, and here's what I figured out. A junk journal is usually handmade using recycled materials. You might repurpose an old book or start with a blank composition book. just some sort of base, and then you use old paper, recycled things that you found. It can be envelopes, it can be fabric, it can be multimedia. People get really crafty with these junk journals and sort of artistic. The idea is that they're going to use it for a journal one day, but I think it's more the fun of just making it. Now, Smashbook, and that actually used to be a brand name, a brand that came out. And these were pre-decorated bound books, or maybe kind of like composition books or thin bound books. But the pages were decorated and they had prompts on them. And so the idea of a Smashbook is that it is pre-decorated and you can use it right then. I got one of these. I got a Smashbook for one of my nieces years ago, and she really liked it because she, like many people, had got it into her head that scrapbooking is hard and time consuming and, has to be perfect or something. But a Smashbook, she could just stick whatever she wanted to in. She could write poetry. She could glue tickets and just mementos of her life. And it was fun, and nobody cared. It was good enough no matter what you did. And then a scrapbook, I guess most people think that it is a book with blank pages. You start with a blank slate, and maybe in the old days you might have had pictures to it. I've seen a lot in the archives where people put newspaper clippings in scrapbooks. To me, it's a place to put your pictures and your memorabilia. So, kind of like the things that I have in these piles around my house. To me, a scrapbook is something that you can put any sentimental flat items in, as opposed to something 3D like a hat or a lamp. And I really like that because those are the kinds of things that I have piled up because I am one of those sentimental people that like to keep things. But as I said, some people think scrapbooking is too hard, too time consuming. And so I thought, maybe if I mesh this idea of a Smashbook scrapbook, then that might help me get through this pile of memorabilia in a way that I could enjoy it and throw out some things that just don't matter anymore.
Let's take a look at the album kit. It comes with a guidebook which shows all the layouts. It even comes with a repositionable tape runner, a pack of embellishments, border stickers. So these are all a little different from what comes with the collection. This is just for the album kit. The pages, and you see that the base page is pretty much already done, and it's a whole album's worth. And the album cover. Let's open our pages here. And one thing you should know is that the first and the last page they go together. So your cut apart for those two will be in the back with your last page. So I'm just going to put my front page aside and do it later, because I know that the embellishments for that are going to be in the back. Your embellishments are actually in order. Kind of cool. So that if you do this first little layer, that's going to be layouts 1 through 4. And each layout is 2 pages, so that's 32 pages total. So I think I'm going to wait to do my embellishments as I start to put things on the pages, because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Also, my cut apart pages, you'll see they're
there's room for a lot of 4x6 or slightly smaller than that pictures, and maybe some big pieces that would put a couple of 4x6 pictures, maybe some 4x4s. Well, I have a mix of older format photos and large 8x10s. So what I'm planning to do is cut these up according to the instructions, but I'm not going to adhere them to my pages yet. So here's my first layout, the base pages, and you can see in the guidebook there are instructions for some of the things I just told you, and that'll be the title page. This will be that first layout here. And suggested places to put your embellishments, and sometimes they have a little note about putting your border sticker on before the other things go on. I am going to do my border stickers, and they are numbered. You see here the little numbers of which layout they go with. So this is layout number 1. The title page is labeled title page. So the next layout is layout number 1. And I'm just going to start cutting apart my cut apart sheets. Base pages, and I didn't put my mats in, just the big pieces. And I didn't time myself this time since I didn't attach the mats. I did a little bit yesterday afternoon and I finished it up this morning, but it's so easy because like that was already designed, and you just add a few pieces of paper and the big stickers.
Well, at least we have a start, right? Now, do I think 16 plus years of mementos and photos are going to fit in this one album? Probably not. But remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to keep everything. But we have a really good head start. We've got our base pages done, and hit that subscribe button because next time we're going to start grabbing those mementos and pictures and pulling them together and see how far we can get. So I will see you then. Bye.